I'm Johnny from Expert Boxing. Right now I'm going to talk to you guys about how to discover your natural fighting talents. So one question I get asked all the time from people is, hey Johnny, how do I know what my natural fighting talents are? What do I know? How do I know what my natural skills are, my natural abilities, what kind of style, what things I'm good at, offense, defense, whether I'm powerful or fast, endurance, whatever, right? So there's 5 tips, there's 5 things I can say about this. The first one is that you have to compare, okay? It's a little bit of a measuring contest, and you have to go to the gym, with many other fighters, many other people, and compare side by side, right? Start doing the movements. So right away, start hitting the bag right next to somebody else that's hitting the bag. You can tell right away who hits harder. And then you do the same exercises they do. They do push-ups, you do push-ups. Right away, you can tell if you're doing more push-ups than they are. If they're lifting weights, you lift weights. Right away, you can tell who's lifting more weights. Go run with them. You can see who runs farther, who runs faster. Same thing, do all the same drills that everybody else is doing, right? This guy's doing 3 rounds in the speed bag, you do 3 rounds in the speed bag. Or try to do as many rounds, try to hit it as fast as they do it. So it's a little bit of a measuring contest, and you can tell right away. Nobody needs to tell you. You can see right away with your eyes, okay? When I went to the gym for the first time for the first time boxing ever, I could see right away I was one of the harder punchers, one of the faster punchers. So you could see right away, a lot of times, talent, if you will, it shows on day one. It's not like, I usually don't see someone who's like the weakest puncher in the room, and then 8 years later, the biggest puncher in the room. I usually don't see that. Usually the big puncher is a big puncher from day one. But of course, you know, you can train, you can improve it, and who knows, like I said, your body will grow, your mentality changes. So that would be the first thing, is just to compare yourself to others, right? So train with a lot of people, don't train by yourself, then you have no idea. It's very hard to know, okay? At the end of the day, talent is an indicator of what you can do that many others can't, right? It's really just an indicator of what's uncommon, okay? Because if everyone can do it, then it's not considered talent anymore, it's just considered common, like a common ability. Now the next thing you have to do, number 2, is to train hard. So there's a lot of guys that they want to compare themselves, but it's not a fair comparison when you're comparing yourself to somebody who's training much harder than you, okay? And not just training harder, they're training smarter, they have better instruction, they got better trainers, they have a better equipment, better gym. You cannot compare yourself to someone when you train at home and this other guy is training in a gym with 10 other world champions in there. It's not a fair comparison. So you gotta really train hard. You gotta do the same drills, the same techniques, and all that. That's the only way to give yourself a fair comparison. Otherwise, you're gonna go home thinking that you're not as talented because you got knocked out by somebody who spent 10 times more hours than you did. Okay? So we have to be fair. The third thing that I'm gonna say is that you have to try everything. You have to try every technique. You have to try every style. Okay? A lot of times, the fighters are doing only what they've thought of, or doing only what they've been told, or doing only what they've seen, or you have to go out there and try to find other methods, other techniques, other styles, and then you have to try them all. Okay, that's the only way. The more things you try, the more likely you're going to uncover one of the hidden gems in yourself, a hidden talent in yourself. I mean, it's the same thing like everything else in life, right? To know what your natural skills are, you have to try doing many different things to go, oh, hey, I'm not good at all these 100 things over here, but I found these 1 or 2 things over here. I'm a special, extraordinary ability over here. So you would only discover that in yourself if you try everything. Which leads me to number 4, is not to have an ego. So a lot of fighters, and I will say this, the beginners, the ones who never fought ever at all, are the ones with the hugest egos. And I can always tell because they're the ones on my channel. They got the biggest opinions, and it's very obvious. They don't even box, they don't even fight, they don't do anything. Maybe they just watch stuff on YouTube. Don't have an ego, guys. I know, like, you read on the internet, you've read books, you've seen videos, you watch movies, whatever. You think you know. Maybe you have a friend who's a pro boxer. Your friend told you a lot of things. So your mind is biased to think that not only that you think you know what's right, but that you think you have the credibility to decide what's right. So I want to tell you this, drop your ego, go out there, just try things, give everything an effort. Even when you see techniques that don't make sense to you, just try it anyway, okay? That's the only way. And you'd be surprised, a lot of the most talented guys out there, they don't have an ego, they just try it. They're like, you know what? They don't even think like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna try it. They don't even think that. They go, okay, I'll try it. And they're just like that. And a lot of times the most talented guys are the ones who are breaking rules, doing things that go against the grain, go against the book, you know, so they go against it. And likewise too, I don't want you guys to have an ego about that either, where you only want to do weird stuff. You only want to go against the grain. You don't want to do the common standard things, okay? So that's another thing too. You can be very talented at doing the standard jab, the standard basic stuff that everyone does, but for some reason you do it 5% better. That is a talent in itself, in improving something so simple and basic that you would think there's no room for improvement, and yet you have done it. So again, don't have an ego, just try everything, try the common stuff, try the uncommon stuff, try the stuff that's right, the stuff that's wrong. And now, the last thing, the fifth thing, is to give it time. So a lot of times, very often, I see fighters that try to judge themselves with just 2 months training, 5 months, 6 months training. You don't know that. There are many world champions out there, they took a few years to really grow into themselves. Their body had to change, their mentality had to change. Maybe they're in the wrong gym environment, they have the wrong kind of training partners. You know, it just needs time. You know, some people, their minds click a little faster, they understand concepts a little faster, or some things come a little more natural. Other people take a little extra time. But man, when they get that time, when they finally mature and their mind grows and they really understand the art of boxing, they're incredible. So, you know, like I said, that's always to do. The 5 things: compare yourself to others, okay? Train alongside other people, don't train alone. Then you gotta train hard, you gotta do everything. Next, you gotta try everything, try all different styles, techniques. And then of course, in the next one, don't have an ego about it. Just go, just try, just do it. And then lastly, give it some time. You do all those things, I'm sure you will discover some hidden fighting talents within yourself. I'm Johnny from Expert Boxing. If you like these tips, like to see more great boxing tips, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, check out my website, expertboxing.com. Thanks for watching.